Aoife, if you kill Chris, I'll spare you.
No, you won't.
What is...
What?
Oh! This week, Team 17 unleashed a WMD on the gaming public. A Worms WMD, that is. It's a fantastic little game that successfully captures the spirit of everything we used to love about the Worms series, before everyone got kind of bored of it. This guy's thinking about other local multiplayer games we love or used to love, so here's a list of our favourite local multiplayer games ever. Enjoy!
Rayman Origins is probably the best platformer released in the last 10 years. There, I said it. It's beautifully designed, it's varied and well thought out, and most importantly, it's a blast to play with your friends, mainly down to the fact it's couch co-op, but it's not really cooperative. See, only one thing matters in Rayman Origins, and that is getting more looms than your friends. Anything to accomplish that goal, including slapping other characters out of your path or into harm's way, is fair game, and because there's a big safety net in place whereby you only fail a level if all players are injured at once, there's no reason not to constantly betray your friends in pursuit of a better score. Rayman Origins is a triumph, and if you haven't spent hours playing it on a sofa while yelling at some people you thought you could trust, then friend, you haven't lived.
Watching really drunk people fighting is always rather entertaining. Now imagine watching 8 really drunk people fighting and think about how funny that would be. Then imagine those really drunk people were actually being controlled by you and your friends, and were also made out of plasticine. That's basically what playing Gang Beasts is like. Even though it looks like Morph has had a catastrophic falling out with his friends, not to mention the fact that it's still in early access, Gang Beasts is nonetheless a multiplayer masterpiece, which is why it's been at every EGX and EGX Res for about as long as anyone can remember.
The problem I found with local multiplayer hits, especially on the indie side of things, is that a lot of them have fairly short lifespans. Nidhogg, Towerfall, they're superb games, right? But neither of them really managed to stick around with my group of friends in the same way that Rocket League did. And I think the difference here is that after tens and tens of hours playing Rocket League, I can still feel a sense of progression. This is an incredibly accessible game, the rules are really simple, the controls are straightforward, you can just jump in and start playing, but within that there's also an incredibly high skill ceiling to strive towards. I still feel like I'm learning something new when I play Rocket League, in a way that I don't for Towerfall and Nidhogg. And as a result, I can still absolutely lose my shit when I manage something a little bit more fancy, a bit cool. Those glorious moments when you take the big risk and you jump boldly into the air and boost towards the ball for a mid-air volley. That's the stuff, man. That's what it's all about. And Rocket League ends up being the easiest sell in the world anyway, doesn't it? You see, right, are you listening? It's a football game, yeah? But it's got rocket-powered cars that can do front flips. That's why it's on the list.
Long before I was employed by Eurogamer, I used to work for a shopping TV channel. It was my first ever proper TV job and I loved it. Not least because it was incredibly generous with its break allowance. 2-hour-long breaks per 10-hour shift we used to get, and we even had our own crew room to relax in that was decked out with comfy sofas and a big old TV. After a while, watching the same Only Fools and Horses DVD over and over again on our breaks got a little bit boring, so one day I dug out my old Super Nintendo, my 4-player controller adapter, and a copy of Super Bomberman 2 and set it up in the crew room. Before long, my fun little idea transformed the normally chill crew room into a war zone, with obscenities flying through the air like tracer bullets. Fierce rivalries were formed, tournaments were held, and grudge matches took place for real-world monies. At times, the screams of passionate Bomberman players got so loud that they would occasionally be picked up by the presenter's microphone and transmitted to the viewers at home. Then one day, management announced they were closing the crew room forthwith and converting it into a visitor's toilet. And that was the end of Break Time Bomberman forever. Bummer, man.
Overcooked is one of the more recent games to grace this list, though I warn you, it's not for the faint of heart. To become the best chef in the business takes skill, determination, smarts, and an ability to persevere in spite of the realization all your friends are liabilities and you don't want to be associated with any of them anymore. See, Overcooked is a game that hinges on everyone working as part of a greater whole. You need to talk to your teammates and coordinate what everyone is doing, or everything will fall apart. And when I mean everything, I'm not just talking about making onion soup or getting some lettuce on a burger before the timer runs out. I'm talking about entire friendships. If you haven't already played Overcooked, you should. It'll change your life, possibly by forcing some people out of it.
What can I say about Goldeneye that hasn't been said a million times already? It was the best local multiplayer game of its time and arguably one of the greatest ever made. And if I didn't include it in this list in some form or another, then everyone would shout at me. So here you go, it's Goldeneye. I bloody love Goldeneye.
Adding Mario Kart to this list is a no-brainer, but it's still a little bit tricky. Mario Kart has consistently provided some of the best couch-based multiplayer games for decades now, but which is the best? The SNES version and its devilish incarnation of Rainbow Road? The N64 version, complete with Wario Stadium wall jump exploit? Is it Double Dash featuring Baby Park, arguably one of the greatest courses in racing game history? Well, it's definitely not Mario Kart Wii because that was awful, but how about Mario Kart 8 with its gravity-defying courses and customizable karts? Whichever your personal favourite is, minus the SNES version for the record, I think we can all agree Mario Kart is one of the all-time greatest couch-based games. Though, just to reiterate, Mario Kart Wii is terrible, and I will fight anyone who says otherwise.
And that's us done. As with all list features, we're bound to have missed out on a few classics here and there, so do let us know your favourite local multiplayer games in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more from Eurogamer. Oh, and maybe check out another one of these fine list videos as well if you'd like. They've got lists in them and everything. Goodbye.